Today was a big day for councillors elected in the local government Freeport district. The councillors were sworn in during a special ceremony this morning in the conference room at the National Insurance Building, and a new chief and deputy chief councillor were chosen. One by one, the 9 councillors who make up the new City of Freeport Council took the oath of office. In the presence of family, friends, and well-wishers, the local government practitioners swore to serve with dignity and pride. Administrator Alexander Williams challenged the new administration to take local government to the next level.
We must now move away from the fix and repair, clean up the park. We got to start working on holistic developmental projects. That is critically important as we move into the new age, the 21st century. And when we look around our regional partners and countries, we can take example.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry for Grand Bahama, Melvin Seymour, charged the councillors to serve their communities to the best of their ability.
You should motivate and you should inspire, always giving hope to those who elected you, those in the various communities around you, and indeed those in your care.
Former Consul General K. Forbes-Smith and former Deputy Chief Councillor April Crowther-Gow admonished them to stay focused on the business of the people.
We have to develop new policies that will affect people, and we have to look at the economic empowerment of our people in this community. And I think that is really the new thrust of local government.
You are now the new leaders. You could do what the MPs cannot do. When you get your budget, you are action-oriented, agenda-planned, community-based, community-oriented.
After the swearing-in ceremony, the 9 councillors were taken to a private room to select the chief and deputy chief councillors. Marco City Councillor Chervita Campbell emerged chief councillor, while Nevar Smith, who represents East Grand Bahama, will serve as deputy chief councillor.
We are on a new vision, new direction. It is my desire, and I'm pledging today, that I will work with each and every one of you in the capacity for you to serve your communities and the greater good of the island.
I will rise above all of the negativity and work with everyone fairly and squarely. Anybody who has a good program or initiative, I will put my full weight behind it to ensure that it succeeds in the best interest of our community. So let's stay positive, stay together, and rise above all the things that divide us. And once again, a new day is here. And
the new local government council in East and Grand Bahama is a combination of veterans and newcomers. This morning they were officially installed during a ceremony held at the local government office in High Rock. Joan Davis-Roll has that story.
The swearing-in process for East Grand Bahama, a crowning moment for newly elected officials. Officials with the support of residents have committed to a life of service for the next 3 years. A highlight of the ceremony coming with the official naming and swearing-in of the persons mandated to lead the local government charge in East End. Chief Councillor Gladston Russel and Deputy Chief Councillor Marcus Cooper.
I believe things will get better for the East Grand Bahama. And most of all, I like for the people to come together and get ready for the challenge.
I feel today was, first of all, a game changer for the Eastern District. One of the things that we hope to accomplish in local government in East Grand Bahama, first of all, is to establish and to reinforce some level of accountability and definitely responsibility. And then secondly, to definitely do the mandate of the people who would have put us in.
There are major plans said to be in the pipeline for East and Grand Bahama, a proposed mega project along with other developments. And according to Deputy Chief Councillor Cooper, along with Councillor Sherwin Tate, local government is expected to figure prominently in assisting in this transformation.
What's first on your agenda? You represent a new generation of East Enders and leaders from this area. How do you feel?
Well, I feel good to be young, and I feel good to be able to affect change. One of the things that I hope to accomplish throughout my 3 years would be to establish a youth multipurpose center in at least if one area or in all of the areas, so that young people can have some place positive to spend their time rather than being idle, repair courts, what's not. but I hope to definitely accomplish whatever it is that my people will have sent me to do.
I see a new team with vision. I feel confident within myself and of course with them. I think East Grand Bahama is going to be taken to another level with the team that we have now. And I just want to thank God and of course the folks in Sweetings. Hey, we got it. And I know Mr. Russell is going to be fair to everybody, equality. You're going to see more equality, more fairness. And that's what I think the people are looking for, to know that they have leaders they can count on. And I would be standing right there with my chief consular. You know, he is an awesome guy, and I know he would bring us a great, good work.
For East End Assistant Administrator Sherrick Ellis, the swearing-in ceremony marked one of his final duties as he retires after 45 years as a public servant. He had this advice for councillors.
I hope that they would take their swearing-in serious and that East Grand Bahama was always left behind. And I say to them that I hope that within this 3-year term that the East Grand Bahama will explode with new ventures.
Now the local government officials have already been installed here in East Grand Bahama. They say their first order of business will be preparing its residents for what is expected to be unprecedented growth and development. This as they attempt to move East Grand Bahama to the next level. In East Grand Bahama, reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Joan Davis-Roll.
A swearing-in ceremony for the West Grand Bahama District will take place at the local government office in 8 Mile Rock tomorrow. Several candidates were elected without contest. Simon Lewis, Anthony Bain, and Joseph Russell will represent the Hunters and Mactown communities. Ella Roll is the representative for Hepburn Town, Ann Russell for Williams and Russell Towns. Marjorie Darville and Lorna Knowles will represent Pinders Point. Linda Russell, Marianne Bonnaby, and Cleveland Simmons will represent Lewis Yard. In 8 Mile Rock West, Kevin Morris, Sophia Dean, Mary Roll, Walford Roll, and Denise Russell were elected without contest. Devin Brown and Sandy Thompson were elected unopposed in 8 Mile Rock East.